Matt Lenihan Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Store Forged Irish Stout. We're here, Matt Macklin, in one of the new homes of boxing in Saudi Arabia. Undisputed, first time for 25 years, undisputed heavyweight title on the line. Fury Usyk, it's finally here. A lot of people were saying we're not sure it were ever going to happen, but it's here, it's happening this week. Happy?
Oh, without a doubt, and it's actually the first of the full belt era as well.
Yes.
I think all of us got to a point where we started to think maybe this fight's just cursed. You know, not just this fight, but the Undisputed. You know, because going way back, you know, what was 2019 when Joshua was making the defence against Andy Ruiz in New York, and everyone was talking about Wilder and Fury and when's it going to happen, and you know, we all wanted an undisputed heavyweight champion, and obviously a lot's happened since then. Belts have changed hands, etc. But you know, Fury is the lineal champion, Alexander unified champion, and we're not quite there. but
you still have reservations now?
No, I'm going to say we're not quite there. But I think something really, I don't know, something mental would have to happen now for it not to happen.
In terms of the fight itself, a lot of people were going off. You know, I think a lot of people had Tyson the favourite coming in, maybe rightly so, heavyweight, natural heavyweight, dominant performances over key men over the years, your Wilders, your Klitschko's. But then after the Ngannou fight, obviously Usyk as well doing his thing, beating the Joshuas twice on the bounce, people started pushing his side further up, so it's more of a closer fight. When you look at the shape of Fury now, though, for this fight in comparison, what's that done to your mindset when you look at the fight coming in?
Look, boxing fans or boxing people or any fans, I suppose, in sport can be quite fickle, and you're as good as your last fight. That said, there are a million variables that can go towards you performing well, not performing well, whatever. Personally, my opinion is with Fury against Ngannou, I think he completely overlooked him. You know, I thought this MMA guy comes in, I'm just going to walk over, bang him out, and you know, obviously so he didn't prepare where he should have done. I'm not saying he didn't go in the gym, but he wasn't vintage Tyson Fury. It was a poor performance, and it was a good performance by Ngannou. You know, Usyk is a different character, I think, but even with that, look, he wasn't particularly great against Dubois. You know, the controversy of was it a low blow, was it a body shot, and then he got up, and he got the win. I still think Fury's the favourite here in this fight. I still think you've got to lean towards him, but I do think the general perception now is that it's a much closer fight.
In terms of, I spoke to Gareth A. Davis last week about the fact that if Fury won, would he be considered the best? And he said he still feels he still has to fight Anthony Joshua to be classed as the best of this era. Do you believe that that's still the case? Obviously, Tyson talks about this three-headed monster of him, Wilder, Joshua. Then Usyk came along, obviously beat Joshua. Ruiz came, beat Joshua. Obviously, what he's done to Wilder. Do you believe he still has to beat Anthony Joshua, even if he beats Usyk this weekend?
I don't know about having to, but I think he'd want to. You know what I mean? It's like because if he didn't, you'll have people saying, "Oh, but yeah, look, Ngannou, look what Joshua did to Ngannou." Because people compare like that, don't they? Even though you can't really, because styles make fights and it's all different. But people do. So, and I think for his own, I think for himself, he'd want to do that fight.
Yeah.
And I do think. I'm not saying he owes it, but I think they both owe it to some degree to the boxing fans.
Do you think there'd be a situation where, if Tyson, say, does a job on Usyk in dominant fashion, that we could see a scenario where the rematch maybe doesn't happen and gets put back to because Turkey, obviously, His Excellency makes a lot of things happen, could say push that back while we see Joshua Fury, while the fight's still, the right time kind of thing?
Yeah, it's not impossible, put it that way. I know they've got, I think, the rematch penciled in for October.
Yeah.
But that depends, doesn't it, on the manner of the defeat? Like you say, if Fury just completely obliterates him, and he looks, that could easily get pushed back. And then if that did happen, you'd imagine they'd use that date to slip the Joshua fight in. But that's all ifs, buts, maybes. We don't know. You know what I mean? We're all surmising a million different possible outcomes.
Canelo Alvarez the other week, back to seemingly in terrific form against Jaime Munguia. What do you make of Canelo now? He's seemingly got options open. Talks about $200 million for Benavidez. I think, is that just him throwing his weight around saying, look, I've been here a long time. You know, you look at my resume. I've fought everyone you've asked me to fight. I have done. Just give me the money and we'll fight.
Yeah, he has done, but you do get the feeling that he's less willing to fight Benavidez than he is other people.
Yeah.
Seems that way, doesn't it?
Do you think it's unfair to say it's a duck?
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't say duck, but if I was Benavidez, I would.
Yes,
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would say, well, I'm willing to fight you. I'm calling you out. You're jumping to fight everyone up. Why aren't you fighting me?
Yeah. Who else can he fight? When you look at Canelo now and the options, obviously there's David Morrell, but his resume is a who's who of everybody, even his defeats. But when you're looking around now and, you know, who is it? Who's that guy?
I think the fight out there that people want to see because they think there's a genuine feeling that he could beat Canelo is Benavidez.
Do you make Benavidez the favourite in that?
I don't know. There's not a lot in it, I don't think.
Lomachenko produced a brilliant performance over George Kambosos at the weekend. I know you maybe only caught with parts of it, but he was back to what looked like seemingly his best, like he'd never been away kind of thing. And he hasn't been away really. It's only been a year out, but people take long layoffs. He's now in a position where there's 3 fights coming up. Gervonta Tank Davis is in with Frank Martin. Navarrete back in a fight. Shakur Stevenson has a fight. Either one of them could potentially face Loma next. Who would you like to see Lomachenko in with? Gervonta is a massive fight, isn't it?
Yeah, probably. That's probably the one. Also Shakur, because that you got 2 master technicians there, trying to outthink each other. That'd be it might not be a fight of the year for the casual. I don't know if it's going to be an action
chess match,
but that would be a high tech chess match.
Who do you see now in terms of like the fights? We're all seeing all these fights getting made now. Through I think last year, I think I have to say PBC probably sort of got that ball rolling when you look at your Spence Crawfords, your Ryan Garcia, Gervonta Davis. They really started pushing for these big fights. Obviously Saudi Arabia's involvement now is on the big fights. What's the fight you want to see in boxing aside from Fury Joshua that you want to see get made? We've seen Spence Crawford, we've seen a lot of big fights. What's the one fight now you're like, look, we have to see?
Wow, I don't know. You put me on the spot there. I think
everything seems so much more realistic now than it did maybe 20 months ago. So who's to say it can't happen? Yeah,
well, I mean, way back it was Crawford Spence was the one that you wanted to see, but I think now probably that lightweight division get cleaned up. Tank Davis, Lomachenko, Shakur. Because there's a lot of good fighters there. Even Ryan Garcia. They're all still in their prime.
Yeah. What do you make of the old Ryan Garcia fallout? Obviously, we know there's a failed test. There's a B sample coming back, I believe, on the 22nd. Doesn't look good. He got a lot of grace, I think, in a lot of areas for missing weight when it's quite an important thing. And he was sort of pushed to one side going, oh, no, you know what, it was a good performance, but the failed test on top.
No, I agree. I think the coming in 3.5 pound over is, there's weight that you have to make. We have to make weight for a reason. Do you know what I mean? The other guy made weight. You didn't come in and make weight. Yeah, they still went ahead with the fight. Where really, maybe the lesson here is don't go ahead with the fight. But that's hard when you've trained for the fight and you're waiting on that payday as well. Or maybe the guy who makes the weight but doesn't have to go ahead with the fight should get some money, should get half the purse. I don't know. I don't know what way you get around it, but it's I'd imagine for to be on the wrong side of that'd be a tough pill to swallow. To think I made weight, he didn't come in and make weight, and then he's failed. He has. It's been 2 positive tests, so it's like you're Devin Haney, you're fuming.
Not to harp on about the sort of the negative side of it when we're at such a big fight week, but Conor Benn provisionally suspended again. This is a never-ending thing that's going on. What do you make of it? Is this just signalling now that he's just going to take his career away from the UK, or would you like to see him go before the board and sort of plead his case and get this done with now?
I didn't even know that happened. I'd lost track of it because I'm just bored with it really now. Do you know what I mean? He just needs to go and sort it out, doesn't he? Get it. Whatever he's got to do. Sit down, have his hearing, get found guilty, prove his innocence, whatever it is. And take what comes of it. Do you know what I mean?
100%. Look, Matt, maybe we'll catch up later on in this week. We'll see what happens. Appreciate you giving Boxing Social some of your time. And yeah, we'll catch up later on.
Cheers, nice one.